Hello everyone, my name is Katee Forrester and I'm a collaborative teacher at Carver Ninth Grade Academy. Today I will present my research project titled Lack of Differentiation Used by General Educators in the Inclusive Classroom. I began this study in ED 504 and will complete the second part of this project through SE 504. Thank you for joining me. Inclusive classrooms are intended to serve students with a wide range of abilities and learning needs. However, one major issue I have identified is that many general education teachers are not effectively using differentiated instruction strategies. At Carver Ninth Grade Academy, nearly 22% of students have a documented disability. According to the Inclusive Education Initiative, 65% of teachers report that a lack of training is their greatest barrier to inclusive teaching. With so many students requiring diverse instructional methods, a lack of differentiation is directly impacting student achievement. This can definitely be seen on standardized tests such as the pre-ACT. When going through the research, most of the studies have consistently supported the benefits of differentiation. Research by Hellermans and Wilkin highlights how tailored instruction improves growth, motivation, and engagement. Despite the awareness, general education teachers often lack the tools and support needed for practical application. This is not because they do not want to help students. This is because they simply do not understand how to provide this type of education. Students also say that professional development in the areas is often ineffective, leaving teachers not prepared for what they are teaching. Differentiation requires planning around students' readiness, learning, and interest. These are components that teachers aren't trained to address successfully. Most general education teachers are a one-size-fits-all education, and with differentiation, that does not work. The overall purpose of this study was to examine how differentiated instruction in inclusive classrooms affects academic performance, particularly performance on the pre-ACT, because students in ninth grade take the pre-ACT as a practice in order for them to become prepared to take the real ACT in a couple of years. I used sampling to select 3 inclusive English classes at Carver Ninth Grade Academy. Each class included both general and special education students and was taught by a different general education teacher with a collaborative teacher present. Students in these classes were taught a lesson on the most dangerous game over a 2-week span. Instructional approaches varied depending on the teacher's comfort level with differentiation, and each teacher had their own way of teaching this small story. At the end of the unit, students completed a formal assessment. Following that, both teachers and students completed surveys. This allowed them to evaluate the differentiation and instructional effectiveness that students gained from how they taught this lesson. The dependent variable in this study was the students' pre-ACT scores. The independent variable was the presence and quality of differentiated instruction used by the classroom teacher. Collaboration played a major role in the action plan for this lesson. Each classroom had a general and collaborative teacher working together to support learners and their diverse needs. To ensure validity, each class used the same content and assessment framework. External validity was considered through the demographic diversity of the school, which reflects many of the schools in the state of Alabama, especially around the Wiregrass. All ethical guidelines were followed carefully. Students and teachers participated anonymously, and surveys were color-coded by group: blue for general education students and red for students with disabilities. Consent forms were sent out and collected from parents and guardians, since minors were involved. The study was approved by the University of West Alabama, and participation was voluntary with the option to withdraw at any time. While final pre-ACT score results were not available at the time of this recording, preliminary survey data indicated that students in classrooms where differentiation was clearly present felt more confident and better prepared to take their pre-ACT. The expected outcome is that students from differentiated classrooms will score higher on the pre-ACT and report greater engagement and understanding. If these trends follow through like I think they will, we would see a measurable increase in student achievement in those specific classrooms where differentiation was at the forefront of learning, and with teachers that understood how to differentiate for their specific student needs. If I were to conduct this study again, I would push for a professional development workshop for general education teachers prior to instruction. I believe that many general education teachers want to use differentiation in their classrooms, but when they get the students in there and see the actual needs of these students, it becomes so overwhelming that they don't understand fully how to differentiate for each student. Having a professional development specifically geared towards differentiation for students with disabilities would help standardize the level of differentiation across all classrooms and better make its effect more relevant. In the future, research could explore how specific strategies like flexible grouping or scaffolding your instruction could impact achievement in different subjects. A study tracking students' growth beyond the pre-ACT would also offer insight on if differentiation works like we think it does. Thank you for watching my presentation on the lack of differentiation used by general educators in the inclusive classroom. I hope this study contributes to a better understanding of how important teacher training and collaboration are in meeting the needs of all students. If you have any questions or would like to follow up, please feel free to contact me at my email address, kforrester@uwa.edu. Thank you so much.